So without you, all I did was this. Top frame in the neck, bottom frame in the hip. I bridge into you to create just so I can get my hips away from you.
Yeah.
And then this knee just comes across the belly. And then with the leg, I can push a bit and square up. Let's just contextualize it a little bit further to the groundwork. So if you're square to me, you've got your legs in front of you, okay?
Yeah.
When your legs are in between you and your opponent, that's good for you,
yeah.
Okay? It means you can defend yourself, it means you can attack, it means you can do things. But the moment that I get past your legs, and you're flat on your back, let's say, for example, now we got a problem, right? Now we got a problem because there's nothing to stop me on the lower body from coming close to your torso and attacking your head and arms and all the rest of it, right? Your guard, i.e. your legs, has been passed. I've got past it, okay? And this is another area where shrimping comes in. So let's just scoot ourselves to the middle that way. And we're gonna look at how to use shrimping to escape from a position that we call side control. Now side control, as the name would suggest, is where I'm 90 degrees to you and I'm pinning you flat on your back and we are chest to chest.
Okay.
There's quite a few nuanced variations of side control because our arms can be in all sorts of funky places, but in essence, you're on your back and I'm 90 degrees to you. Yeah. Now thinking about shrimping, before I even lie on your chest, where do you think you're going to move your hips, shrimping, to get your hips away from me right now?
Way. So I go like that.
Beautiful.
Like that.
Exactly. So let's look at how we can use it then in a side control context, because people are going to pin the shit out of you for the first few classes until you learn a couple of tricks, and we've got to know how to escape it.
Yeah.
We're going to switch positions so you get to see it and then you'll get more of an idea. So, all you can do is just easily, just slowly, just because of my rib, just lie down flat, chest to chest. You're going to put your right arm as an underhook under this one, and this one's going to go behind my head.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to stay here. Perfect. Good. Okay. So this is bad news for me. Okay. This is good for you. This is bad for me. So I've got to use my shrimp somehow to get out of this. Okay. Now earlier I talked about framing, where we were kind of using your palms to push on my shin. And that was like your arms were acting as some frames, some scaffolding to stop me for a second so you could get your hips out. It's the same principle from here. So one of my frames is going to come in towards the neck here, and I can hook onto the acromion here, or the ridge or whatever on the back, right? And this gives me a bit of leverage. Yeah. You can already feel that if you drive hard into that, it's going to be uncomfortable for you.
You're going to stop my breathing, like.
Yeah, it just gives me a half second to do something. My second frame is going to go into your top hip here. Okay. Now I'm not going to bench press you because that's going to be difficult, but I am going to bridge into you, and as I bridge into you, I'm going to push my hips away.
Right, but I've got to try and...
You're going to keep your balance, everyone will keep your balance, but now you can see there's this huge gap now between our hips. That's great for me because I can bring my knee across the belly, push you away, and then square up. And now we're back to this square idea where I've got something in between you and I, which is my legs. And now I'm eligible to start attacking or defending again. Okay. Does that make sense? So without you, all I did was this. Top frame in the neck, bottom frame in the hip. I bridge into you to create just so I can get my hips away from you.
Yeah.
And then this knee just comes across the belly. And then with the leg, I can push a bit and square up. Let's have a play with that. You can lie down flat on your back.
That's going to be a tough one.
It's technical, but I'll talk you through it. You'll feel it.
Yeah. So
we need a frame in the neck. So I'm here. Beautiful. That's it. And we need a frame in the hip. Beautiful. So I'm here. You're just pressing your forearm up literally into my hip bone.
Like that.
Like that. There you go. Beautiful. So now it's a bridge towards me. So you pivot on your right shoulder as you glute bridge. There. Good. Now you shrimp hard out to that side. Good. Now look at, you've got tons of space here. Yeah. So now you just need to bring your knee across this one. Yep. That's it. And then you can square up. Good. Reset.
Where am I being careful, by the way? I don't want to fight you.
It's just here, but don't worry. This position's not so bad. Okay. So here you're just going to do it, like try and let bridge and turn into. Yeah, good. Now get okay. So you don't even need to go that far back. You're doing a good job actually. If you're able to get that far back, that's great. Don't even need to go that far back.
Full tilt, I'm not getting that far, am I?
No, you literally only need about that much space here
to bring that into.
You got it. You got it.
Cool.
So we're here. Okay, so we're just going to do a bridge just a little bit, because I'm going to try and block this hip. So you're going to bridge a little bit. Good, there, beautiful. Now get this all the way across. Good, and now you can use this to extend slightly, and now you can use that to square up. Beautiful. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? Let's do a few reps of those. So it's the same principle as shrimping, but it's with someone on top of you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to get frames.
So just remembering it's my left hand here.
Yeah, the top frame is in the neck, the bottom frame is in the hip. We bridge and then they get that all the way across here. And then you can get your feet on the hips here. Now you're safe. You've got something in the way of me trying to get to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the goal, is always like having your legs in between.
If you're on the bottom, absolutely, and there's someone like on top of you, or like you're on the bottom and someone is either on their feet or on their knees or trying to get at you, you want your legs in between the two of you, here. Or another way of thinking of this is being squared up to me.
Is that just a principle to have in mind all the time?
Yeah, if you're on the bottom.
Okay.
If you're trying to defend yourself, especially,
Having this in between
using your legs. Yeah, jiu-jitsu's a lot about using your legs to beat the other person's like arms, basically. If you can fight with your legs, they're always going to beat arms, right? Because they're stronger. So it makes sense to make the most defensive portion of jiu-jitsu the legs and not the arms, because how long could you fend me off with your arms, like pushing away?
Gas out.
Yeah, and how much weight could you press away from me with bad technique versus how much could you leg press away from you, right? It's like a significant difference. So in general, this squared up idea is what saves you from a defensive perspective in jiu-jitsu. And that's what we're doing when we're escaping this side controls. We're getting back to a squared up position, right? Let's do a few more reps of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, this side I'm more comfortable on.
Yeah,
So for learning, like a learning loop for me, I probably need to nail it.
Yeah.
This side before that.
Yeah. And everyone has a favourite side. It's common on these kind of things. So we're here, we've got frames. We'll just do a little bridge. Yeah, so when you do your bridge, try and bridge and turn onto this shoulder. So
which shoulder? Left
your
one.
right shoulder. There you go. Now you can do there. Beautiful. Now get that shin across. Nice. And then push off of my thighs to square up to me. Beautiful. Nice.
Okay.
Good. So that's a little bit on escaping side control.